I started a countdown, but Rob,
John,
Bastos, Bizois.
we're back.
We're back.
Captain Marvel.
Good old Carol Danvers. Non-spoiler for the first few minutes.
Yeah,
For a
yeah.
few minutes.
You go ahead, because you watched it.
I saw it. I
Twice already.
Twice already.
Mhm.
Saw it the day, the Thursday release, and then today,
Friday.
good old Friday, the 8th of March. Right?
International Women's Day.
International Women's Day. I liked it. It was good enough to see it twice. I don't know if I'll see it a third time. We'll see. But I liked it. It's fun. It had a whole 90s vibe to it. And then, we already know that Nick Fury's in it.
Mhm.
Good old Samuel. Not really spoiled there because if you guys saw the trailer, he's in the trailer. But Carol Danvers, good Captain Marvel. I like that. It's a decent origin story for her. I think you'll be able to enjoy it. Nice. It's family oriented. There's not too much vulgarity in it, if you will. Actually, it's fun from beginning to end. It's pretty well balanced. It's trying to say shit without spoiling it. Overall, good enough for me to see it twice. When it's really good, I see it 2 to 5 times. In theory, yeah, I'm that type.
I liked it. Didn't love it, but still good enough to enjoy. I felt like there were some parts where it was slow,
Yeah.
but then the parts where it wasn't slow, it was compelling and good.
Yeah.
It was more humorous and funny than I anticipated.
Mhm.
The action was good, not great, like the Russo brothers, what they do. I enjoyed the actors, one in particular that in the spoiler alert I'll talk about, but I enjoy their performances, and yeah, he kind of nailed everything in the head. I'm not the type to watch movies like multiple times unless it's that good, like Infinity War, for me. And even for that, like I only watched it online repeatedly when it was like the bootleg shit. But other than that,
What do you rate it out of 10? I probably give it a strong 7.5 out of 10.
yeah, I'm gonna say 7.
Yeah.
For me, it's like it's a comparable to like Ant-Man and the Wasp and like Doctor Strange, where I enjoyed it, I liked it, but I'm not like I need to see this multiple times. It's just like, oh, good, enjoyed, and good. I'll say this: our movie theater, the volume was low.
That does play into effect because I saw it today and the volume was way better.
Okay.
It was way better. We saw it at different times last night because I drove in from North Carolina.
Yeah.
So we were in different theaters, but both of our theaters had, I don't know if there were issues or they just forgot to put the volume up.
Yeah, the
because
sound system was like slacking, and it was like it's kind of forced me to pay attention more, which I don't mind, but it was just like we need the
Yes.
You can ask any of our cousins or relatives that watch movies at our house, like we probably have the loudest house on the
give them the
block.
full experience of the movie. And, the first screening of Captain Marvel, I didn't really feel it because same thing. Like I was so engaged audioly in an audio sense because I didn't want to miss anything, and I felt like the crowd that I was with also was trying to like, all right, why can't we hear this shit? So I feel like the laughs would have been louder to all the comic relief and whatnot. But other than that, I'm happy with what Marvel is continuing. We're in phase 3, aren't we?
Phase 3.
Yeah,
I read that somewhere.
we're in phase 3, and I think she delivers. Brie Larson, right? Brie Larson. Spoiler alert. Did you? Oh, you gave it a 7.
I gave 7.
Spoiler alert. Spoilers.
If you want to keep watching and you didn't watch it, that's on you.
If you don't care about getting spoiled, then you may continue watching. Fair warning, there's spoilers.
And we're gonna jump all over the place, so we're not gonna
Yeah, because I'm starting all the way at the very end.
Oh yeah.
2 words. Where's Fury?
My thing with that though, like even though like I love that moment, I'm just like I don't think that's gonna be her introduction into
Endgame?
Yeah, I don't think so. That's too little for her to how she's gonna be introduced, in my opinion.
Because the scene is they still don't know who it is. So
Yeah.
maybe in Endgame, she's probably helping the Skrulls already getting established.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. And then she gets the page. She's like, "Oh, Nick's calling me,"
Yeah.
or Fury's calling me.
Yeah. See, I still enjoyed the thing. Like,
The moment.
it's cool to see like them on screen
Together.
for the first time. Like,
So after watching the second time, she had longer hair than when the actual movie, like the
Oh,
post
yeah?
credits. Yeah, she had longer hair.
Oh, that's cool.
And it seemed like she was a little more worn out.
Mhm.
But the fact that she arrived without Fury there, there was a type of obvious concern on her face versus very happy-go-lucky Marvel Captain Danvers that we're able to see in the movie.
And what I'm really, really interested to see, like, even though it's gonna be an Endgame, it was introduced here. Like, the Avengers were named after her.
Right.
I'm just like, yo, like, what?
Carol Avenger Danvers. That was because it was Defense Protocol.
No, Protector.
Protector
The
Initiative.
Protector, yeah.
Yeah, and then he saw on the picture that her nickname, her ace nickname was.
I think it's call sign. That's what.
her call sign. Shit. Her call sign was
Avenger.
Avenger.
So I wonder how she'll feel when you're just like, you guys are called the Avengers.
You know, I remember. I feel like you touched on this in a previous review when you're like, if Rogers and her ever came across, it's like Captain.
See, that's in the was she a captain in this movie?
It didn't look like it.
So like my thing is like in the whole movie she was referred to as Veers,
Yeah.
and then Carol Danvers.
She wasn't specifically called Captain.
Going into Endgame, but
Yeah.
who cares? I can imagine like she's gonna be appointed captain, but I'm curious how they're gonna name her Captain Marvel.
Right.
You know,
right. Because
like granted her mentor, the Kree lady, Marvel.
Marvel, yeah. Or what the fuck was her name? I saw this twice already. Watson? No.
Lawson.
Lawson. Yeah, Lawson.
Yeah, I'm just curious like how they're gonna how her name is gonna be, like her code name, because like Captain America
He was already referred
Captain
to as
America,
Captain.
you know, and Black Panther, like that's the Wakanda like idol thing, and then stuff like that. Here, she was never referred to as Captain
It
Marvel.
was either Veer or Carol. Okay, now the actual movie. That was my fault because I went straight to
Who cares?
I went straight to the mid credit scene, and mid credit scene obviously is Endgame, but it wasn't as 90s. It did have a 90s feel, right? But for some reason, I just thought there would be more of a 90s vibe to it. Granted, the chase scene that actually had I thought of 90s movies, 90s action movies that had chase scenes in it. In particular, like Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
That's almost the same car. That's
what I thought.
That Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis were in that movie, and I think Samuel Jackson was driving that shit. And I'm like, that has a 90s feel to it. So when in the non-spoiler, I was talking about how things weren't going to be botched up. It's like all the action wasn't all at once. There was different action sequences from the beginning to getting to C-53 Earth to escaping the Pegasus.
Yeah, that's
the
what it's
Pegasus.
And then going on
Lair?
stage, yeah.
The Quinjet.
I grabbed my cousin's arm. I'm like,
wait,
that's
who's with you?
Melissa.
Oh shit, she watched it?
Yeah.
Mom? Melissa. Shit.
I was like, that's what they use in the Avengers movies.
Yeah, the Quinjet. I was surprised.
I think it was called the Quadjet.
Quadjet, okay.
But
Obviously,
as we know, it is the Quinjet. And I'm just like, yo, that's what Bruce Banner was in.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. When the beeper, the
pager.
That's what it is. I beeper on my notes. The thing.
Sidekick.
Yeah, like I remember when he took it out. I told him, I was like, oh, that's what he used it now. At the end. I was really happy I caught that.
That's cool.
But
for some reason it's like automatic flashbacks. I originally going into it thought it would be like a build up to that versus going straight onto her as a Kree. You know, I thought it'd be like her coming out of the hangar,
Earth,
and it would go from there.
Yeah, it was a little much.
Yeah.
Because like when they started as a Kree, and then remember when she got caught by the Skrulls,
and then
they
had
went in her
flashbacks.
mind.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on.
So that's what
I was like, oh my god, like.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I was just expecting, from the beginning, but that's what makes it unique. It's not
it's not like Wonder Woman or it's not like Captain America.
So that something like that is like what Tony Stark went through when he was in the desert and captured. Or I don't remember how this is sad. I can't remember how the first Avengers started.
America?
Yeah. How did his origin start?
Kid.
Okay. Same thing. And then Thor. How did Thor come about? He was already like.
Well, he was already
about to be king type.
and
His
then-
father,
yeah.
Odin's son.
Sorry.
So, in her retrospect, it's like she's already established somewhere else. It's basically like we're catching up to where she was in the story, in the movie. I mean,
I think it's different nowadays with the movie scene because
Yeah.
we didn't. It's like you don't know like. People knew Iron Man, but they didn't. I don't want to say like they knew him enough, or like
Right.
people knew Captain America, but they didn't know him enough. But now with like the popularity that the MCU has, I don't know if people have the patience to see
another 20-minute origin.
Yeah, or not even 20 minutes. Like with
From the beginnings.
yeah, like I don't know.
Doctor Strange was in surgery when they started his movie.
Yeah, but they expedited his training, you know? I think it's under the impression like from that surgery to like when he lost his hand to the end, it was already like at least years worth of
Yeah,
time you put in.
it's true.
So I enjoyed her friendship with Rambo.
Rambo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that one scene in particular when they're in the kitchen and she was just like, "You died."
You expect me? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh."
I teared when the kid brought out all the memories.
Yeah, you know what I got the vibe I kind of caught.
Yeah.
It was in Independence Day, Will Smith and Jimmy.
Yeah.
I kind of got that vibe. Like even though you can tell I feel like the girl like Danvers and Rambo are closer as opposed to the Will Smith's character and
yeah.
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
I got that vibe. Like they're both pilots. One is white, one is black.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Air Force. They have that. If you're a wingman, that's literally your left hand, right hand type. You know, so they have that. That's a natural connection that they're gonna have, and it helps that they're friends off the job.
I really enjoyed their dynamic.
Lieutenant Trouble.
Yo, that girl was awesome.
She was cool.
I when she was just like, is this the type of example you want to set? That was great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So essentially, 6 years later, it's dab snap in the middle of the 90s. They had all the some of the top hits from the 90s from TLC and some other.
Yeah. I'm curious if the daughter will show up in the future, like future movies.
Yeah.
Because they set up a really nice rapport between her and
Yeah, so maybe like at the end of Endgame, she might go find the Rambos.
yeah.
And she's
Or maybe even at like when she gets to Earth.
Right.
You know, because when she finds out
she'll
everything.
go straight. Yeah, but then essentially that's almost 23 years later. You know, and that's one of those things. Like if you've seen Interstellar, remember Interstellar?
Yeah.
You know, Brie Larson or Carol Danvers, wherever she was, she didn't age because a month in one part of the galaxy could be 10 years in another place. That's what happened in spoiler alert for if you haven't seen Interstellar.
Well, except in Interstellar was 1 minute. It was like 7 years.
It was 1 minute was 1 year, I guess.
No, it was something
like that because they were there for a good 20 minutes, and the dude that they left in space ended up being 20 years older.
Now, I don't know much about Captain Marvel lore. I don't know much about the Skrulls and the Kree.
Yeah.
So I did not expect that plot twist when it was the Kree that.
Well, it was the good guys? Oh, the bad guys.
Bad guys, and the Skrulls were like, "Hey, listen, man, we just want to live in peace."
It was in the back of my head knowing that Ronan was in this movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's a bad guy in the
he was
future.
already an established villain with Guardians. So I saw the movie with Swag for Ryan Verano, and he was like, who was he? What was he going after? What was he going after in Guardians? I said he was going after the Power Stone.
You mean anything going out?
Yeah. So at the end of Captain Marvel, instead of emphasizing that he was going after the Tesseract, he specifically said he's going after the girl, which was Carol Danvers.
Right.
And I think I thought he was just collecting it for Thanos.
Okay. I did enjoy. So probably my favorite fight sequence was when she took down Ronan's thingy. Like when he showed up and she just obliterated everything.
All the warheads.
Yeah, that's what they call it. I was like, yeah, this is what I needed to see. This
to show how she is technically as of now, she's the most powerful character among the good guys, at least in the MCU, because that was just outrageous. That the Kree suit plus the combination of her powers enables her to fly into space using her photon and cosmic powers. That device that Lawson made. That device that Lawson made, when it exploded,
the light speed thingy.
the light speed thingy, it kind of had the same reaction. Like I guess that was good.
Yeah.
That was so good. Oh, DC fans that watch Flash, that's almost like a particle accelerator type of reaction where
Okay, I like
it was
that.
she absorbed it, and we don't see anything like that in the MCU.
Right.
You know, you have the scientists, you have the soldiers, and now you have like
An accident.
An accident. Yeah, technically an accident.
Well, she did shoot it, but I don't. Yeah, it was an accident because she didn't anticipate.
Right.
She wasn't like, I want to become the most powerful being.
Yeah. So like, you know, stuff like that. Remember in Ultron, how they pretty much leveled him between Iron Man, Vision, and Thor? I feel like that's gonna happen between Vision, Thor. I mean, Stark, Thor, Doctor Strange, Olsen, what's her? Scarlet, and the cosmic powers of what's her face. I feel like that's gotta happen. Like one big hammer down of all their unique powers between witchcraft, science, and cosmic.
I feel like another thing to keep in mind is she, at the end of this movie, she still doesn't have full control of her powers. So you would assume by the time it's Endgame, she'll be even more powerful and more stronger than she was in this movie, because she had that thingy here that
that was restricting her.
That was
So when she got rid of that, she was really starting to bloom, but she hasn't fully blossomed.
And even when she was fighting too, like, you could tell like I don't want to say she struggled, but like she was still trying to figure everything out.
I will say this, the choreography was a little like, I don't feel like the choreography brought her strength and abilities true justice, because I look at Scarlet Witch and I look at, like, you know, Captain America. Oh no, not Scarlet Witch. I look at Black Widow and Captain America. I feel like they're more, the impact of when they were fighting their bad guys looked a little more, I want to say realistic.
Badass.
Yeah, badass. Too far for me to, or for us to help. But yeah, I felt like it was it wasn't badass. It's like the string work was too
I have
obvious.
an answer for you for that.
Okay.
The Russo brothers.
Oh.
The Winter Soldier, Civil War,
Right.
Infinity War, all that are fucking crazy because they directed it.
Okay.
So it's just like,
Oh, this wasn't the Russo.
No.
Brothers. Okay,
there's nothing wrong with being
that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes it a little more unique.
Reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, unique. But I would have preferred it to be a little more.
Wait till Endgame. That's
The Russo brothers.
I think they're spearheading that one as well.
That was one of my only complaints.
Yeah, the fighting. That's understandable.
That fight scene at the end when they threw that "I'm just a girl" because I'm just a girl. I was like, is that Gwen Stefani or No Doubt? It sounds like
Is
it. Yeah, it probably is. But that gave me a feel of like Guardians, where it's very playful but serious at the same time. And she kicked her old team's ass. So
I feel like that's a trend with Marvel these days, because it was in It's been both the Guardians, Thor Ragnarok.
yeah. What are you the god of again?
Yeah. So like, I feel like that's a trend where right now. I'm not gonna say.
I'm looking at all the heroes that we've seen so far between the three phases, and I'm also looking at their villains. Like Carol's old team, I don't think it as like as the primary villain, and then the AI. You know what I mean?
The higher up.
Yeah, the higher up
people. Yeah.
I think, you know, that might have been. It seemed like she overpowered that when she overcame her limitation, and then it's like, I feel like that was only for mental manipulation, if you know what I mean, to control her. Yeah. To be able to control her. But where I'm going with this is, I feel when I see the other villains that, you know, all of our previous heroes have faced, usually, if not all of them, they're almost all like the same, like mirror types. You know, Tony's villains are usually like mad scientist types.
I just want to kill you. Like,
yeah, right. You know, Captain America, he had like Hydra or super soldiers, other super soldiers. Doctor Strange had another wizard. Thor's had some crazy ass villains. Where I'm going with this is, I feel previous villains seemed stronger than the MCU hero, and even with her limitations, I still feel like she was already stronger than her team, who were the main villains. Granted, Ronan showed up and she just
She was already unleashed by
Yeah, by then. I feel like they didn't make her stronger. Like maybe they had more skill. Like this dude Jude Law, who I
enjoyed.
Jude Law was good. Jude Law, I think he played that part well, and I feel like he was a little underrated in this movie.
Yeah, he was cool. He was awesome. When you bring up the whole manipulation thing, that's a good point. I didn't think of it like that.
The AI, right? Because they want her to stay on her side, but they figured out that she was like the weapon. She was the one.
The key.
The key. Have you ever seen a death battle between her and Android 18?
No. Oh, I think I have.
It is good.
I think I have. I think you showed me.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this Captain Marvel.
Did you predict the Tesseract being in this?
No.
Yeah.
No. That was the energy source. Energy source.
Still, I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Oh.
And both times I saw it, everyone had that reaction, like, oh!
And even, I didn't get it first until the guy next to me, like, he explained to his girlfriend, oh, that's the Tesseract. I'm like, fuck, I can't believe I didn't see it.
I knew that right away.
Oh, I was so mad. I was like, damn, I failed you guys. I failed MCU.
Fucking Ryan. When that shit show was like, oh! So, the second viewing, I was with Ryan today, and we didn't have that many people in our theater because we had the early showing, like a 3 o'clock showing. And there was like we were sitting an empty row, some lady that was watching the movie by herself in front of us, and then there was like a row of these teenage Asian girls that were there.
Okay.
And they pretty much would, that row of like Asian girls, like they have the typical nerdy geeky reactions because they love everything about that movie.
Okay, that's cool.
So
That's cool.
I could sense that they were like laughing and crying when, even if it's a little over exaggerated, their reaction. When the post-credit scene, when Carol showed up, all 5 of them were like, ah! Oh my god! I don't know which part it was, but there was one of those moments, and then Swag Chip was next to me. I'm crying. I'm crying.
The only time I cheered was when her best friend was like the kitchen scene, and I brought up.
Oh, I teared when Lieutenant Trouble chose her uniform.
Oh,
Uniform color.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah.
Is that like
An Air Force thing?
Is that their like colors or like
No? Not
okay.
really. Well, I guess you could say that.
I don't know.
But it's just because she was wearing an Air Force shirt, but then it was
With
those colors,
yeah.
so. But it had a nice twist to it, like she went through all those different colors. And you know what? I'm pretty sure she probably has different uniforms in the comics, so she might have gone through old uniforms of
Maybe
Captain Marvel. Yeah, but now, 20 years later,
23.
23,
I don't know.
yeah, 20 plus years later, Lieutenant Trouble is probably like my age, late 20s, early 30s, and her best friend is probably old as fuck. Maybe throughout this whole time, she's probably been like an advisor for S.H.I.E.L.D. or something, Because
Fury did save.
yeah, she
for you.
right, pilot.
That's another thing. Before, like, we gotta give credit to her. She was flying that quad jet like a boss. I'm like,
Hell
hey,
yeah.
oh shit, like, out in space.
I enjoyed that too.
That was.
But that's
respect to her.
that's just like the military background in me. Like I'm so biased towards all the characters in the MCU that have a military background. Cap, Bucky, Sam, Colonel Rhodes. Now these two, like the automatic favorites for me. That's why I always think they're badasses. Frank Castle. Ooh, I finally finished season 1, so I'm gonna continue with season 2. Anyway.
I think to wrap it up, I like the Stanley tribute that they did at the beginning. And then
this guy Ryan was like, I heard that they gave him a cameo right in the beginning. I go, oh, you wait. Yeah, last night when they saw him on the bus, everybody clapped and shit.
No, so I heard from a Blind Wave movie review.
Yeah.
So on the bus, when he was on that other cameo, and he was actually reading like a line, like from a movie, and it was actually a movie that he cameoed in around that time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's trippy.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they find that out? That is that is
Yeah, it was like an actual like he cameoed in a movie.
He was reading a script. I guess he was practicing.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So that's what that's what I
That is
heard.
so cool.
And if it's true, yes, that is indeed pretty awesome.
And then at the beginning, after when the Marvel thing showed and it was all his cameos, it said was it dedicated to Stan or for Stan Lee or
something like that. Yo, did you notice too at the end? This is the end credits right before the second post-credit scene.
Yeah.
It said in remembrance of. It looked like it was like in remembrance of like a fallen soldier or like a fallen like military member.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
to
I saw.
the two times I saw. You
that was-
saw it.
I saw something like that, and I knew I should have wrote the name down. I just forget. But
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
I thought that if that's the case, I thought that was a nice touch. I thought that was really cool.
Coulson. You like Coulson in it?
I feel like we didn't get enough of them.
We did not.
So
Did not get enough. I think it's just they introduced how him and Fury became tight, or how Fury. Was
yeah,
able
when
to
he
trust
was
him.
like, no one's here. They're not here. That was awesome. Now, and they also had another thing that reminds me. They had a line when they were in the stairwell. And it was Carol and Fury talking about him,
Yeah.
and he's just like, he seems like the type he'll do something even though he's not supposed to.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't that in the quad jet?
Was it the quad jet? I
Yeah,
forget.
because she was like, oh, I would get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think we haven't watched Agents of Shield. Don't kill us.
True.
But I've heard that he's done something along those lines in that show that kind of like reflects his character. But
What else?
yeah, I'm thinking.
While you're thinking. And I got my mobile infantry shirt. Shouts to Starship Troopers, Star Wars, and King of the North. Yeah, go.
That fucking cat.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that shit.
Yeah,
coming. I don't know if that's a big part of the comics either. That was so random. But I kept on seeing on social media that this cat was like important. It's kind of like a Groot type of thing.
It was. Someone said like the cat's gonna steal the show. I'm like, granted, it was really crazy.
It was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It was so random.
I think so. Like
Goose.
I think because they found the cat in Pegasus, and I think that's Marvel's cat.
Cat, yeah, obviously.
So-
Yeah, definitely. It's just they originally, I think the name of the cat was supposed to be George,
Okay.
but they changed it to Goose. George would have been a homage to George Lucas for Star Wars,
That would've been cool.
but they changed it to Goose because Goose is a character. They paid homage to a character in Top Gun.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Maverick is Tom Cruise, and then Goose is the other guy, is one of the other characters. So they.
So you could even say like that's Marvel's favorite movie because that was in '95, right?
yeah.
Maybe she was on Earth already by then. Maybe she saw the movie and like named the cat after Goose.
No. Top Gun came out in the '80s.
Yeah, and I'm saying she was probably there and like on
Yeah,
Earth.
because 1989.
yeah, and
That's what, shit. That makes sense. No, that makes total sense. Yeah. I didn't think of it like that. I thought they were just paying homage to Top Gun because of it's an Air Force type of movie. Even though it wasn't technically Air Force, they went to Pegasus because women weren't allowed to do air combat missions yet.
Now speaking of like within that movie realm, so I guess the Chitauri is an emergency for the fucking pager.
No. I thought about this. No. I thought about this too. Nick Fury, what I'm thinking is he wanted to give the Avengers Initiative a chance before he called that.
Okay, I can get that.
And he was right. Obviously, they won. He could have done it for Age of Ultron too. Right. But when he sees that one of his best agents is disappearing and he's about to go, this is like, alright, I'm gonna go. I'm going down with guns blazing. Like, I'm calling all the reinforcements we got.
I even think before he pressed the beeper, he wasn't vanishing yet. It was already after the beeper when he realized. I think he saw everyone else vanishing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
So
Call Control,
yeah.
Code Red.
So, but yeah,
So
I was still thinking like, man, like, the Chitauri fucked up New York.
yeah, they did. This was a world/galactic distress, and who knows? Maybe she'll show up in Endgame and be like, "Why did half the Skrulls disappear when I dropped them off?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of.
I feel like it's not just the Skrulls that were on that ship. I feel like because they said in the movie like there's Skrulls across the galaxy.
Yeah.
So-
but I'm saying like when obviously, let's say she gets them to a new planet and more Skrulls show up. She's helping them establish their new colony.
And
While she's there, I liked it. you know what? If I'm bored on a day and someone's like, I haven't seen it yet, when they give me a reason to go see it, shit, I'll go watch it again. I don't give a shit.
Okay, I think we're good.
I like Captain Marvel. Brie Larson. Remember Michelle? Our cousin Michelle was like, she saw Brie Larson in another show or movie, and she was like, she can't take her seriously as a superhero because of a certain role that she played before. So granted, this is my first time really seeing Brie Larson. I liked her as a Carol Danvers overall, and I think I had my doubts. I'm glad she played that role like.
You know she's the girl in 21 Jump Street, right?
The high school girl?
Yeah. She was that actor like Jonah Hill was like crushing on.
She looks so different.
Yes, that's why I'm saying like so from my perspective, seeing her there, and then to now it's like good for you.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Hell to the yeah!
So
she had such a bubbly personality when she was like cool, but then when she's serious as Carol Danvers, it's like that's on an individual you don't want to fuck with. So cheers to you, Brie Larson. The road to Endgame. We're over one of the last humps.
I don't know what I'm gonna do after. I really hope they can carry the momentum.
3 hours. It's a 3 hour.
I meant after Endgame. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Like I hope, like I know it's going into like MCU like as a whole, but we've had so many. It's been 20 movies.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's almost like a TV show. Like if you keep doing so many seasons, it can only be like
it can only go for so long.
Yeah, it's just like
my thing is when they do come to an end, because it will eventually. I don't see them going 50 movies, maybe 30, maybe 30, 35. The culmination, I think everybody's gonna come back. You know, Chris Evans is gonna be he wants to direct Captain America, or he wants to direct movies. This dude, he's too young to not make an appearance. Like, even if he sheds 10 minutes of screen time like he did it's not that hard for these people.
But money also talks too.
These people, for the sake of, it's like, you know, all these super teams, you know, for the sake of the big picture, are these actors and actresses willing to shed a little bit just to make it something? What was it in Troy? It's like you could die physically, but your name could live forever. Like that's something money can't buy. If something that epic, a massive culmination of all the main characters.
I'm not disagreeing. It's just to play devil's advocate. There's scheduling involved.
Scheduling and
scheduling.
Could it be too big to do?
But
that's all on. So whoever does
whoever's up there, we don't know that much.
Side note, were there any particular trailers that you saw last night that stuck out? Because I didn't see any of the Dark Phoenix trailers until today. I mean, like the newer, like the recent.
You mean like any in general?
No. We did a reaction to one. Okay. Besides that, but I haven't seen any after that until today.
They showed Shazam for us.
I saw Shazam yesterday.
Shazam.
But they didn't show it today. They showed the Dark Phoenix, and I was like, oh my god, there's a lot of shit going on. So, when I mean culmination, they haven't really put out like a Phase 4, Phase 5 type.
Right.
And with
could have the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
I mean, why are they keep doing these whole and Fantastic Four? They keep doing this. Who will reprise the role as Wolverine? And I remember reading that this dude Hugh Jackman said the only reason he would play Wolverine again is if he was in the Avengers. But there's a lot of potential of guys who could pull off a Wolverine.
We're going into
fuck. Let's Captain Marvel was fucking good. 7.5.
7 for me.
I'll probably watch it one more time. And I was watching Infinity War earlier too. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm Rob.
I'm John.
Bastos boys. Mahalo. Reaction, like I guess so.